I'm going to go through all the energy systems, and I'm going to go through them quite slowly just so that you can get to grips with it a little bit more, and hopefully this will be good when it comes to your revising, okay? So we have got the three energy systems. We've got the ATP-PC system, we've got our lactic acid system, and we've got the aerobic system. And these three systems, they're all based around the resynthesis of ATP, which I'll go for now, okay? So, ATP, as you know, it stands for adenosine triphosphate. We've got our adenosine here, and we've got 1, we've got 2, and we've got 3 phosphates. Adenosine and 3 phosphates. And these lines here, these are called chemical bonds, okay? So these are not tentacles or strings or anything like that. These are called chemical bonds. And what happens is, we need to break off one of these chemical bonds in order to generate energy. And the way that works is, there is an enzyme, and this enzyme is called ATPase. And the purpose of this enzyme is to break off one of these chemical bonds. So what happens, as it's breaking off a chemical bond, this causes what we call an exothermic reaction. And exothermic basically means heat is generated to produce energy. So one of these chemical bonds has been snapped off, and we have got 1 phosphate left over here. So when it comes to phosphate that's left over, that's called an inorganic phosphate, and it also can be written as PI. So in an exam paper, if you see PI, that basically just means inorganic phosphate. And to create energy, the whole point that we're doing is that we have to resynthesize. And resynthesize means taking something off and then putting it back on. So we need to get this inorganic phosphate here, and we need to attach it back to this adenosine molecule to make ATP again, okay? And that there is called resynthesis, okay? That's the resynthesis. And that resynthesis, to get that inorganic phosphate back onto the ATP, that happens 3 different ways. And they're different compared to the 3 different energy systems. So it's going to happen different for the ATP system, it's going to happen differently for the lactic acid system, and for the aerobic system as well. And it's important to know that we only have enough ATP to last 1 to 2 seconds. So this here would be used in sports such as powerlifting or weightlifting, when literally that lift would only last for 1 to 2 seconds. It is high intensity, short duration, and it is only effective for 1 to 2 seconds. So what we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about the other 3 energy systems and how it resynthesizes. So that is what we call ATP splitting. And you have a fixed amount of ATP in the body. You cannot consume it through food or through a certain drink. We only have a fixed amount of ATP, okay? So that's the ATP splitting, and now I'm going to go on to the first method of resynthesis for this. Okay, so